driven by destiny, the unlikely bond of warriors in battles for life and territory like predators, human, or as animals. Prehistoric, tough life, harsh environment, and hard love. The story begins with a voiceover, explains that long ago there were people who were hunters. Things were not going so well, and the spirit woman was constantly asking the gods for a sign. The sign comes when the hunters find a young girl with blue eyes. Her name is Evelette. The spirit woman touches Evelette's face and sees visions. After that, she says that all of Evelette's people had been slain by the four-legged demons. She also says that the young girl would grow up to be the woman of the man who will lead their people. All of this will happen after the people's last hunt. At this time, the main character Dlé is a young boy. He notices Evelette from the first time she arrives at their village. Meanwhile, Dlé's father cannot wait for the fulfillment of the spirit woman's prophecy. He holds the white spear, which means he is the leader hunter, and gives it to his friend Tick Tick, and wants Tick Tick to promise him to protect his son, and won't tell no one the reason why he left his tribe. He is off to search for answers that could help his people. Everyone thinks that he abandoned his people, and the young children make fun of Dlé because of it. He and Evelette grow closer because he is lonely like her. He asks what happened to her people. She says they were killed by four-legged demons. Then Dlé promises her she will never be alone again and points to a star which never go away from the point they live. That's like Evelette in his heart and never will go away, he says. Years later, when they are adults, we see Dlé and a younger boy named Baku asking about hunting and how long they have keep watching for mammoths, and talks about old mother visions towards the next great hunter who can claim Evelette, and that person is not Dlé. That's what the old mother thinks. Then Evelette shows up and talks about running away, they both together, but Dlé doesn't want to abandon his people like his father did. Baku hears and sees the great mammoths coming through, and shouts the hunters. They gather around and Tick Tick announces that the one who kills the mammoth would hold the white spear and claim Evelette. Dlé is still treated with little regard because his father was the coward, but he is determined to win the white spear and the girl. They make mammoth stampede and lead them into trap. All is going as planned when they capture one mammoth in their nets. However, the mammoth breaks free. Everyone is holding on, gradually let go. Dlé and Tick Tick are the last ones holding on. Tick Tick tells him to let go. He says his hand is stuck. The mammoth continues to drag him on. Then the mammoth gets free out of the net and charges back at Dlé, and he throws a spear. Nothing serious happens. Then he grabs another to fight, but it's stuck in the rocks, and the mammoth runs in the spear and gets killed. Then the others arrive and pull him out when he is stuck under the beast. They chant him and admire him for his braveness, but only Tick Tick knows the truth and just gives Dlé a look of disapproval when he asks for the white spear, and it bothers Dlé as well, which later on he gives it back. But Evelette is upset because she implied that he should have kept the white spear so they could be together, but he says it was a lie. He didn't kill it. He was stuck on that shitty net, and that mammoth was stupid enough to kill itself when his spear was stuck in the rocks. Evelette is disappointed and walks away. In that very night, the old mother freaks out of her sleep. She gets out and notices the four-legged demons are about to raid the village. They kill some people and take some in chains. The four-legged demons are actually warlord men on horses. One of the people taken is Evelette because of her beauty. The head of the warlords takes her for himself. Dlé is determined to follow and rescue his love. The spirit woman doubts that he is able to accomplish the task by himself. Tick Tick and another hunter agree to go with him. The spirit woman spits on them. She blesses them. Then they are ready to hit the vast frozen mountain land. She feels their suffering during the journey, by the way. The little boy Baku joins them as well. They are able to follow the warlords over the mountains by the help of Evelette. She consistently puts sign on the way. One of the generals caught her and takes her shells, or rather marbles something. Then they follow them into the forest. In the forest, they stay the night and Dlé with his men decide to wait and watch them, but Dlé can't hold it on and disregards the advice of Tick Tick and tries to free Evelette. As they try to make the escape, there are these giant man-eating birds that attack, and Dlé kills one. In the end, the warlords capture Evelette and two of the others in Dlé's group. Now there are Dlé and Tick Tick. The others are captured by the warlords. Tick Tick is injured. Dlé nurses him back to health while continuing to follow the warlords. One night he is out trying to kill some food and falls into a pit. Sometime later he is awakened by the rain. He sees a saber-toothed tiger that is struggling not to drown. He wants to kill it but cannot since it is helpless. He frees the tiger and the tiger roars in his face, then runs off. Back at the mountain village, the old mother is freaking out. She sees the whole thing. What a legend. The next day they notice a village nearby, and they go into the village and begin to eat food that they see outside. Then the tribe of people appear and pull out their spears. There is a face-off between the tribe and Dlé and Tick Tick. Meanwhile, the saber-toothed tiger appears and once again roars in Dlé's face. He mentions to the tiger that they already know each other. Then the villagers are shocked and happy at the same time, because this exchange, fulfills an ancient prophecy in the village about the man that speaks to the tiger can save their people. They followed Lay to rescue their people. The warlords pass through and capture some of their people too. At night they give them plenty of food and Lay eats a chili pepper without knowing the consequences. It's quite funny. The chef talks about a man who has come long ago and have taken by the warlords. He says that man had La face, then he realizes that man was his father. Len is wondering why the villagers believe that he can make them free, and Tick Tick explains about La's father who hadn't left his people. He actually had been gone to find a way for saving his people. La is mad why Tick Tick has made everyone believe that his father was a coward for leaving his people. But Tick Tick say because it was a promise not to tell anyone about why his father left. All the tribes come together following Lay to rescue their people. Someone mentions that the warlords use birds to fly to their destination. The birds are actually ships going down a river. By the way, we see the two head of warlords have some beef. Better knowing it for later on, it comes handy. They go by ships and Len with his men hit the desert to meet the warlords at the end of the river without knowing if they can get there or all would die. The warlord chef is in love with Evelette and tells her that forget about La and her people because no one has ever succeeded to cross that desert. They finally get there, but not before those who captured by warlords. There are thousands of people that are being held captive to build giant pyramid for the Almighty. The Almighty is supposedly the god among them and commissions the build of the pyramid-like tower in the ancient city. He gives his approval or disapproval of the work being done on the pyramid. He calls for a sacrifice because he is not pleased with their progress. One of the men from Dlay's village is sacrificed. Dlay infiltrates the slave camps to inform the people that they will overthrow the powers and release Evelette. After talking to a blind, wise man, Dlay learns that the Almighty is only afraid of the one who bears the mark of the hunter. He does not have this mark, and so he is unsure if the enslaved workers will assist him with overthrowing the Almighty. And he also notices a bracelet he is wearing and asks him where did he get that. The blind man tells him that the man who saved his life has given him. That man was Len's father. That night Tick Tick is killed in a scuffle with some of the guards from the ancient city. He passes the white spear to Dlay and encourages him to fulfill his destiny. Meanwhile, the warlord has bought Evelette is getting ready to claim her as his. With her in his arms, she takes his knife. Then she is stopped from killing him because priests or monk-like people come to take the warlord. They ask him why did he steal from the Almighty. His own man exposes him. He was jealous of him all the time. Then they take the knife from her. When they do so, they see her hand and her scar is the mark of the hunter. Her scar matches a constellation. They run to tell the Almighty, and he is understandably agitated because he is close to his end. And La pumps his men with some motivational speeches. The next day is the rebellion. They plant some tools and weapons for later, and we see the warlord's general is getting tortured with Evelette. Dlay gets the mammoths that are doing the work to rampage. As a result, all hell breaks loose. People who were getting whipped turn on their captors, beating and killing them. The priests or monk-like people tell the Almighty what is happening. He says they should tie up the girl because the hunter just wants her. The hunters and ex-slaves are running towards the temple of the Almighty, and Dlay stops everyone because he sees Evelette tied up. The Almighty says he can take her and leave everyone else. He says that he will agree to this bargain, but he wants all his people. They agree as well. Then he asks what will happen to others. The Almighty says they will serve the god forever. Len says no they will not, and throws his spear and the Almighty drops. Everyone sees that he is not a god as he claimed. While all the fighting is going on, Dlay is looking for Evelette. The love-struck warlord is determined to have her, and is escaping with her on a horse. Evelette uses an arrow to stab him and they fall off. She runs back towards Dlay. The warlord shoots her with an arrow in the back and says Dlay will not have her either. The old mother felt the arrow back at the mountains. Dlay holds her and she breathes her last breath. But as she does that, the spirit woman is about to die as well. Her last breath brings Evelette back to life. Evelette lives. Dlay and his tribesmen return home. A man who was friends with Dlay's father gives him some seeds for them to carry back to their land. This is so they will have food and not go hungry in lean times. The movie ends with Evelette and Dlay checking on their crops and kissing under the sunset.